Hello, YouTube. It's your boy Nathan coming to you to do another recap video. Today we are talking 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After Season 9, Episode 8. May the Force be with you. So we're just going to get on into it before we start. Again, thank you to all my new subscribers who subscribed to me over the last week. I really appreciate it. And welcome to the Nathan Tip 2 page, where I provide nice little recaps of these reality dating shows and the mess that we see on TV and stuff. I mostly cover 90 Day Fiancé, Married at First Sight, Catfish if it returns. I heard a rumor that Catfish is returning, so be on the lookout for that. So I really hope you guys enjoy my content. And we are growing, and it's thanks to you guys that we're growing and growing. So we're going to get on into this episode now. The first couple I want to talk is Darcy and Georgie. Darcy is a 50-year-old woman should not be acting the way Darcy be acting. Okay, so we all know that they're in Bulgaria going to go meet Georgie's family, right? Last week we seen them meet the sister and that went well. Throughout the whole entire season, Georgie has been really adamant to Darcy that he needs her to really cover up because Bulgaria is a very conservative country. You need to dress really modestly, especially when you go meet in-laws and stuff. And this is the first time Georgie has ever brought a girl to meet his family at 37 years old. So Darcy, they're at their little hotel, whatever. She's getting ready. And she had this white outfit on and everything. And, she said that it wasn't so she lost a little bit of weight, it doesn't fit the way that she liked it to fit basically. And Georgie's just eager to go and ready to go and just keeping silent. So Darcy changes into her to this black outfit, and she's still showing her legs and stuff and everything, but she has 3 coats or whatever. So they ultimately she chooses that outfit, and they take a ride. I guess it was 2 hours from their hotel to where Georgie's house is at and everything. And, again, Georgie is just very nervous about this whole thing. Darcy's just being goofy and acting, spraying her hair in the car and everything. And it was just a bit much. It's just too much for Georgie. So ultimately they get to the house and everything, and they're speaking Bulgarian and stuff, and the family welcomes Darcy and Georgie and everything. It was a really surreal moment. Georgie hasn't seen his family really in 13 years and stuff. And so so it was a nice embrace, that made Darcy emotional and stuff and everything. And, they get in the house, they get a little tour and everything. And Georgie's mother, they asked what was their first impressions of Darcy, and Georgie's mother said, she is not dressed the right way, basically. I don't know, just me personally, I would dress a little bit better if I was going to go meet my in-laws for the first time, just saying, and everything. And when she said that, I was just like, okay, well, Georgie was not lying. Georgie was not lying when he told her throughout the whole season that you need to dress more modestly and stuff because this is a conservative country and stuff. And he was right. The mom made a comment about what she was wearing and everything. And so they're having discussions and everything, and just doing the ice breaking stuff or whatever. And then one of Darcy's buttons pops off and everything, and then the mom questions about why aren't you wearing something underneath or something like that and everything. And then she had to explain that this button fell off or whatever. And but what Georgie's mom did was very nice. She's like, what, I can fix that for you, bring it here. So she basically fixed the button and everything. They talked. Darcy was telling in a private conversation. Darcy was saying, I love Georgie, but he needs to tell me more and everything. And the mom said, Georgie loves you. He does tell us about the issues, but he wouldn't bring you all the way to Bulgaria if he didn't love you. So now they're at the dinner table. they're at the dinner table, and basically Darcy just starts crying. And I'm just like, why is she crying? Like what happened now? And she's still like really like gun hun about this like mystery man that she married. Like Georgie is just a really mysterious man, and she just doesn't really know who she is. Then who he is? And I'm like, why did you marry him? Why did you even go back to him in the first place? They had like such a toxic relationship from the beginning, and I don't even know why she even took him back and then let alone married him off camera, basically. So she starts crying. Georgie asks, why are you crying? He's like, I just wanted to know more about you. And then his mom and dad's like, why is she crying? And everything. And, and the parents is just like, don't let this escalate right now. You guys could talk about this later and everything. Let's just enjoy what we have now and everything. And Darcy's just like, yeah, I'm sorry I brought this at the dinner table for the first time and everything. I want to enjoy this for now. So Darcy's just way too she's a person, I hate when people tell me this, but this is clear, it is obvious that she is really unstable with her emotions. So she needs to really get her emotions in check. For a 50-year-old woman who's married to a 37-year-old, like, you need to be more mature in this relationship. You need to be the one like taking control and quit acting like a freaking kid. Like, kids don't even act like that when they meet their in-laws and stuff. I can't speak for all of them, but I know a little bit more younger people than her who did better at meeting the in-laws that way. So not a good first impression, Darcy. Not a good first impression. So yeah, that was Darcy and Georgie. Next couple I want to talk is Elizabeth and Andre. So they only had one scene in this episode. As we all know what happened last week, Elizabeth found out that Andre made that really bad investment in Moldova, and they lost $75,000 to the Russian contract company or whatever. And so with Elizabeth finding that out, she got so mad that she packed up her stuff and took the kids and chucked back home to America and left Andre in Moldova. I thought that was funny. And this episode, Andre returns back from Moldova. He brings Elizabeth some flowers and everything. And Elizabeth was just like, what are these? He was like, flowers. Do you like them? She's like, all right. Did you get our money back? She was like, she's been home for a whole week. She said she's only talked to Andre to video chat with the kids and stuff and everything. And that was it. They haven't had a conversation because she was really pissed off about it. She was like, did you get our money back? Like right out the gate, did you get our money back? He's like, well, I talked to some people and we're going to work out something. Might need to take another investment out in order to get to work for this one. And I'm just like, wait, why do you have to take another investment out to fix this one? You're just putting yourself more in a hole, basically. Sometimes you just got to take your losses because, the more you do that, the more you're going to be in debt. Elizabeth said that, you know what? For every decision that you make in business, I'm going to be part of it. You can make the final decisions, but I'm going to still be part of it. And you're not going to keep me out of the loop like you did this time. Elizabeth also said that we are not moving to Moldova because Andre still like, I still want us to move there. And she was like, I ain't moving there. We ain't moving there. Like we ain't selling this house. Andre's like, well, this house is just half of it. Like, what am I going to tell my family? And Elizabeth's like, your family here says that we're not moving and we're not selling this house. And then Andre ultimately apologized because Elizabeth said he hardly apologizes and stuff and everything. So he apologized, and Elizabeth said, I did enjoy my time away from each other, but I am glad that you're back. And that was that. So, whatever. So that was Elizabeth and Andre. Next couple I want to talk is Tiger Lily and Adnan. Throughout the week, I saw a lot of stuff on social media, replaying what we saw last week with Adnan, like calling Tiger Lily a demon, telling her screw her religion, that his religion is the only one that matters and stuff and everything. And I was right. Somebody had made a comment, and he actually, by doing that, actually disrespected his own religion. And I mentioned that last week. Like, because I guess I seen a comment where another Muslim or Islamic person like responded to a video and stuff, and he said that like this was a disrespect to our religion. We're supposed to, basically we're supposed to, like, support like each other, like not knock down any other religion. Ours, just because it's our religion doesn't make ours superior. And we're at the end, basically what he was trying to say is, like what I said last week, we still serve the same God, or in Muslim terms, Allah, whatever, and stuff. So, it was, a lot of people were really triggered by Adnan's like comments last week, basically. So Tiger Lily and Adnan, they're about to have a freaking baby. Like, it's the day before the baby, and he's so adamant that he wants Tiger Lily to convert to Muslim and everything. They get into a big argument. He calls Tiger Lily a demon. She's in the bedroom crying and everything. And Tiger Lily's like, how can I trust you? And then Adnan, he's like, mention one more trust and I'll make more of a problem of it now. And I'm just like, bro, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Adnan talks again. He may. Tiger Lily always defends him on Instagram the following morning. She says, "Oh, Adnan's a great dad. He's good with my kids. Blah blah blah. I know it looked bad, but he's such a great guy and everything and all that." Well, okay, and if that's the case, that's great. But I would be really mad if just seeing that your husband is every single week getting a really, really bad edit. Because ever since we met Adnan, he's got a really bad edit. And she's always had to go on social media to defend him and stuff. I personally think that she's just doing that just because she's scared. Because, we even seen at the last tell-all that they were part of, that I think like it was Brian who pointed out, like, I think like Tiger wants a mature Adnan. And she was like, and she told Brian, like, well, you're putting words in my mouth. I didn't say that, basically. But she knows she wants to say that because she's scared, because she knows how Adnan is. It's going to pop off if she wants that. And going back to this episode, Tiger Lily saying, you're telling me one thing, what I want to hear, and then now that you're here, it's different. You're doing something different. So how does that make me feel, and how do you think that makes me feel and everything? And Alan's just like, I'm the man here. I make all the decisions here and everything. And my culture, in the Muslim culture, the man's supposed to be a great husband and a great father. Blah blah blah. I'm nearly perfect and everything. Dude, you ain't perfect. If you were perfect and a good man, a good father, you would be listening to your wife more. You would be comforting her when she's sad and everything. You wouldn't start an argument while she's pregnant the day before her scheduled C-section, basically. So don't go around saying how perfect you are. Okay, if you stayed out of trouble with the law, whoop-de-doo. I never been in any trouble with the law. It doesn't make me perfect. I'm not perfect. I try to do the right thing. I try to be a good person, but it don't make me perfect. Ain't nobody in this world perfect but God, but Jesus. So I don't like how he thinks he's so superior to the king of the world and everything when he's far from it, basically. And he really needs a reality check. He's probably like not getting much of it. Like, I mean, maybe he is like off camera and stuff and everything, but like I just don't see it. But he doesn't get a good edit. He has no respect for his wife. Okay, maybe he might be good with his kids. Cool with the kids. Good. You're supposed to. At least I would hope. I would really hope that, at least at least he has some kind of heart. So they're going back and forth talking about it. Tiger Lily's just fed up because she was just like, it's just like beating a dead horse. We're just not getting nowhere with the conversation. Then he's like, oh, my love, I love you. We got baby coming tomorrow. It's going to be okay, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, whatever. So finally, the next day, they're on their way to the hospital and getting ready to pack up everything and get ready to go to the hospital. Adnan had to be in the center of attention. On the way to the hospital, has to dress up in a freaking tuxedo. For Tiger Lily just started cracking up at him because she was like, "Baby, you're gonna be in a hospital gown with a cap on. Why are you wearing a freaking tuxedo?" He's like, "Oh, I want to see Baby Zane when he's born and everything." I'm like, okay, cool, but Baby Zane is not gonna care. Is thinking when you're just coming out of his mom, is gonna be thinking, "Oh, my daddy's in a nice tuxedo and everything. That's great and everything." He ain't thinking or knowing anything about that. So, like Adnan just being at the center of attention and everything. And then he had on the car ride, he has, "So I look nice, baby?" And she's like, you're far from what I'm thinking about right now. Like, this is about to be a surgery. Like, anything can happen. This and that. The focus should be on that. And he needs to get his mindset on that and everything instead of worrying about all this, instead of worrying about changing religions the day before and trying to look good in a tuxedo and everything. So I'm sorry, I go off a lot when it comes to Tiger Lily and Adnan, especially Adnan, but he just really, like, it's really triggering because I'm not one of those, like, a controlling, abusive husband or boyfriends or whatever. Like, I don't treat my girlfriend the way that he treats his wife and everything. Am I perfect? Again, I'm not perfect, but I would never treat my girlfriend and future wife to like this, especially when she's pregnant and stuff. And I would never ask her to convert or anything. I may have my feelings on some things, but I would never make them to the point where it's just scary for her to say something. So Tiger Lily really needs to speak up a little bit more, and every time she does, but she's too scared. She's too scared of him because Lord knows what he could do. So yeah, that was Tiger Lily and Adnan. Next couple I want to talk is Brandon and Julia. Oh my goodness. So last week, as we all know, Julia's parents came in from Russia, and they took them around Washington D.C. and everything, and had like a decent day. And they're tired. They get back to their house in Virginia, and lo and behold, Brandon's parents who still have a key to the house, are in the house and surprise them with a surprise party, basically. And there were some mixed feelings about that throughout the week. Everyone's saying, well, they meant well. It was nice, but others are saying, well, they're over the top, they're overbearing. I'm on decided that this is overbearing. I will admit that it is a nice gesture, but why did they have to do it that day? Why? They had just got off of a long flight the day before. They spent the whole day in D.C. and still got to drive hours back home. They just want to take a shower, relax, go to sleep, and calm down. They don't need Betty and Ron like being up their butts the first thing they walk into the door. Now, Julia's parents were happy about that and thought that was, it seemed like they thought it was nice, basically. They're going to think that, of course, because it was for them and everything. So, to them, that didn't matter. But I'm on the side, once again, I'm on the side of Julia. Julia's like, dang, guys, you could have told us. You could have told us that you were doing this. And they were like, well, we didn't. But, and Ron was like, oh, but you know what? I'm not sorry because, if someone gave me a surprise, I would not be ungrateful or anything. I would be so happy. Of course, Brandon's happy that they're there and all that. He said he ain't gonna say nothing about it, basically, and everything. So yeah, but Julia is still really upset. Like, you guys, Julia had lost her voice because she said she was translating so much back and forth throughout the day. It was a long day. She couldn't even, her voice just Like, that annoying, sometimes I will admit, sometimes Julia's voice can get annoying at times, especially when she starts complaining. I will admit Julia does complain a lot and she's never satisfied. But Betty and Ron really do overstep their boundaries and everything. And she told them that. She was like, okay, we're just going to go. This has just gone from bad to worse. And we're going to go get a hotel. And then they were like, okay, bye. But then Brandon was like, well, I want to go with you guys. And Julia's like, oh, no, you ain't going with them, Brandon. And she's like, yes, I am. And everything. And Julia was like, if you go, like, don't come back. This is my house. I'm changing the locks tomorrow, Brandon. And Brandon just goes off with his parents. Brandon needs to grow up. This is ridiculous. Like, that's just ridiculous. Now, I will admit, like, Brandon said, I'm tired of Julia treating my parents like this. Okay, maybe Julia does need to work on that a little bit, but he does not understand how overbearing that they are. Like, giving Betty a key to the house and everything, like, from the start. And mind you, Betty and Ron live an hour and a half away themselves anyway. So, like, it's really embarrassing. Like, again, Julia's parents didn't care. They're just like wondering what's going on and everything. They didn't care. So no big deal with them. But can Julia just have some time with her own family without Betty and Ron, like, ruining everything? Like, Julia has been in America for 6 years now, and she had to put up with Betty and Ron from the farm to when they moved to that apartment, to then move to the house and everything. And this is the first time she's seen her parents in America. If Betty and Ron wanted, my opinion is Betty and Ron could, if they wanted to do that, that's fine. They could have waited one day. They couldn't wait one day. They could have waited one day. They had to do it that night. They couldn't wait one day the next day to throw that little gathering for Julia's parents. Let the people breathe. They're not letting Julia or her family breathe and everything. And that is so unfair and everything. And what pissed me off is how Brandon left with them when they said they're going to get a hotel. He's like, I'm going to go with you guys and everything. Like, that is so childish. That is really childish. All Julia said that you need to tell us more, like, when you're going to be doing something like this and everything. Like, you guys are crossing too many boundaries, basically, and everything. All Julia said, like, y'all need to tell us this. Like, my voice is gone. I'm not here to yell. But, Brandon just left. And I kind of lost a little bit of respect for him by doing that. You're going to leave your wife and your in-laws to go be with your overbearing parents when you're 33 years old, and you acting like a little kid that because his girlfriend yelled at him. Like, grow up. Grow up. Unless, like, the situation was really, like, and I've been in a situation like that where a person is attacking, like, my family and stuff and everything, and I would side more with my family and stuff. But again, it depends on the situation. That person was just doing it for no reason and making up things. Julia has a legitimate reason why she got upset with that. And Brandon should have really stuck up for his wife in that situation. But this is not just my situation. When I went through it, is nothing compared to that. Because if I was in that position, I would have not left with my parents. And I would have told my parents, I agree with Julia. You guys need to quit crossing boundaries. Y'all could have told us. I don't mind y'all did this. This was nice. But y'all could at least waited a day. It's that simple. That simple. Anyway, enough of Brandon and Julia. And the next couple I want to talk is Kara and Guillermo. Sad couple. Just sad. Kara's on her way to Milan because she's going to be recording her La Bancha album or whatever and everything. We've seen her and her mom driving to the airport and everything, talking about Guillermo and stuff. Like, Kara doesn't even know, like, what to do. She's like, she's in a bittersweet situation, gonna go, like, record this album. but still upset that her and Guillermo are separated basically. And we've seen Guillermo like have a conversation on a video show with his mom, and it was very emotional. They were crying. The mom just said, if you really love her, just work on this marriage. Just work on it, basically. So Karen and Guillermo, they had so much potential, but Kara's following her dreams, but she's not letting Guillermo follow his. Kara can go out and do anything that she wants to, and Guillermo can, and she gets mad when Guillermo can't. And then when he says something, like he'll say something that he regrets, and it gets him in trouble. So I just think that Kara just feels like she's just better. I think she's just giving me the mean girl vibe, thinking that she's like better than him, just above him and everything, and nothing else really matters, basically. She's just giving me those vibes. So, but yeah, it's sad. I'm curious to see how this ends up, but it's not looking good. But yeah, that was Karen and Guillermo. I'm not spending much time with them. And the last couple I'm going to talk is Gina and Jasmine, and Matt and Natalie. So we've seen Jasmine and Matt at the gym, working out and everything. They're still recovering from the big chaos at the birthday party, and Jasmine is feeling like she is done with Gina basically. Now Matt is just sitting up there, just basically like kind of happy all of this went down because he really likes Jasmine now. And long story short, he just told Jasmine I have feelings for you. I love you now. Jasmine said, didn't I tell you not to fall in love with me and everything? And I told you I'm still trying to work things out with Gino and everything. I told you not to fall for me. But she was just like, you know what? If I would have met you years ago, you would have been 100% my type, and I would have been madly, madly in love with you and everything. So the timing is just a little bit off here, but you have to understand, like, I'm still battling everything that's going on with Gino. And Matt said, I understand that she's not ready, but everybody's side eyeing Matt because he's really having a crush on a married woman, which we all knew that it was coming. So yeah, they're working out and express their feelings for each other one way or the other. And meanwhile, we've seen Gino go to Natalie's hotel to try to reconcile with Natalie. Gino brings her some coffee. And, he's still upset at what happened the night before. And he talks to Natalie. Natalie said that she slept okay, and, she still had a lot of adrenaline. She wanted Gino to explain his side of the story. And all Gino did was just insult Matt and be like, Matt gonna come out and talk about how I need Viagra and this and that and everything. Matt's not even good looking. He spent that whole conversation just talking down on Matt instead of saying, look, Natalie, I'm really sorry that happened. Like, I really don't want you to give up on me, like, and everything. Natalie's defense was like, Gina, I wish you had the guts to tell me the more clarity about this whole situation, because I've been a full advocate about you trying to work things out with your wife and everything. I don't want no part of this and everything. I didn't know y'all met for dinner or drinks or whatever y'all did. And Gina said, my definition when I met with Jasmine to throw her stuff on the curb, I felt like I made it clear that we were going to get divorced and everything, but he didn't. She feels like he didn't, and at that point I thought he did. But when they met up at the bar, I will agree that there was still like a slight hope that they might work things out and everything. And Natalie's just saying, like, you should have been more honest with me about that and everything, because I never would have come here and everything if you guys still had a remote. I told you before I came here that get some kind of closure on Jasmine, and you didn't. So Gino, I am done. I'm getting out of the state. Best of luck to you and everything, and I'm out of here. And and Natalie left, and we're not going to see Natalie again. Hopefully she'll be at the tell-all, but And I was, good for Natalie. Good for Natalie. I was Team Natalie the whole thing, the whole way. But I was also sad to see that because I was like, dang, I was hoping for that. I was hoping for Natalie and Gina to work out and everything. But she is right. Gina did also was a major part of letting it happen. Yes, his cousins were messy in that situation. But Gina should instead of just making fun of Matt that whole time, like I say, he should have just been like, I'm really sorry, Natalie. Please forgive me. Especially after that, I definitely want no part of Jasmine. Like, you did come out here to hang out with me and meet my family, and it just that didn't go well. I really don't want us to break up over this and everything. Like, please just like can we try to move past this and everything? Like, I'll do everything I can to make it up to you. No, he didn't do that. He just talked bad about, oh, Matt's a scumbag. I'm gonna tell him that the next time I see him and everything. Like, he's still worried. In his mind, that's just where his mind is at. Gino, come on, Gino. You lost your wife, and now you lost your girlfriend all in one night. So you got to really take a step back and look at yourself, Gino. Just saying. And I've been on your side throughout this whole time, but you really need to take a look at yourself. So yeah, that was Gina and Jasmine, Matt, Natalie, and whatever. So yeah, that's it, and that was all the couples. We did not see Lauren and Lexi or Jovi and Yara. We're not seeing much of them. Like, where are they at? I'm so tired of having Darcy and Georgie getting all the scenes basically, and everything. Like, they're getting all the scenes and stuff. Like I want to see more of it. Surprisingly, I do want to see more Lauren and Lexi and Jovi and Yara. Like, I know I said at the beginning of the season, if I hear one time with Jovi and Yara, Jovi, oh, I'm going to the strip club, and Yara be like, oh, I hate you, Jovi. I'm going back to Ukraine and taking Milo with me. If I was to hear one of that, I was going to explode. I haven't heard that yet this season. But yeah, we haven't it's been a while since we've seen Lauren and Lexi and Jovi and Yara. But they did this still to come. We're actually at the mid-season point finally with Happily Ever After. So they should have still to come on the season. We're going to see what really Lauren and Elizabeth, their friendship might be in a little bit of in trouble, basically. We're going to see, I think Lauren and Lexi and Jovi and Yara are going to be a little bit more closer and stuff, but I think they're all going to just, like, knock out Elizabeth and Andrea out of that trio, out of that couple trio, basically. We're going to see a lot of Darcy and Georgie drama coming up. When Kara gets back from Milan, like, her and Guillermo are going to have a conversation, and she's going to confront him on cheating, basically. So it's just going to be a mess. We're going to see how Tiger Lily and Adam's baby comes and everything. And with Gina and Jasmine, I guess Gina's going to try to call immigration on Jasmine to get her deported. And we also saw that Matt might propose to Jasmine. So, okay. So, yeah, we got a lot to look forward to on the second half of the season. But I will admit the season has been going pretty fast. So, let's keep it going faster. So anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. That was the end of my review. I'll be back on tomorrow when we recap this big 90-day Hunt for Love tell-all. And we'll have a lot to talk about tomorrow's video. So be on the lookout for that. So until then, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see y'all again soon. Bye, y'all.